Today, I want to talk about Instagram and social media in general for artists. We're all kind of indoctrinated to believe that growing our social media is something we have to do or is a net positive no matter what. One of the most important questions to ask yourself, why do I want to grow on social media? What is it going to do for you? Is it going to bring you more customers? Is it going to get your message out to a wider audience? Or could it possibly distract you from doing the thing that you really want to do? Which I think is the case for most artists. They feel trapped in a sense, having to keep up and maintain content cycles when really what they want to be doing and should be doing is just making great music and evolving that side of their creativity, not necessarily the marketing side. We all get inundated with DMs from strangers saying, hey, you want to grow? $25 for 500 followers. And from my experience working in the music industry, I've seen these types of farms in action. They are a real thing. I know several highly successful producers who don't even really engage with social media. They don't need to. They've already established themselves in the circles that are important. They put out the quality music and people enjoy it. What else do they need to do? It's actually in Facebook and Instagram's best interest to have you indoctrinated to think that social media is going to be the road to success. You don't want to find yourself in a place where suddenly you realize, hey, I'm spending more time on content than music. I think a lot of artists find themselves in that place, and it can be very scary once you realize the trap you're in. And the main reason why I think you're there is because of advertising money. It's very important to not attach your self-worth to the success of a post on a platform that's main agenda is advertising money. The longer you stay on the app, the more they can get paid through advertising, all those random sponsored ads you see. So when you actually do succeed on Instagram, keeping people on there for a long period of time, they will tell you that they're happy with you. That happened when my first post blew up. These little windows would pop up, good job, do more of this, everybody likes this, do that again. You ready to try that again? Click here. It is much like a casino in the sense that they let you win a little bit, get a taste for it, and then they take it away. But now the difference is you can pay to win. You can put money down and have your posts boosted and have more numbers on them. And that's why for artists, it's very, very detrimental and not healthy. So for me, when I started Wondertone on Instagram, I just wanted more people to use my drum samples. I wanted demos up so people could listen to them. I just wanted more eyes on the samples. And that was very hard to get. It took a long time to grow. But beyond that, what I really wanted was a format to be creative in, to really go deep in topics, to educate, to experiment. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted community. I wanted people to be actively engaging with my work. If I really thought about all that before I started, I would have went hard on YouTube day one. YouTube was really what I was looking for, but I was indoctrinated into thinking Instagram was the way forward. So there I was, posting regularly, getting my 15 likes. I had 10 followers. And I was just doing my thing. It's really important on social media to keep your head down, focus on the work, and not be distracted by what someone else is doing. Because when you're first starting off and you're not getting the results that you want, it can be a little disheartening to see someone with 1 million views and think to yourself, subjectively, maybe it's not as creative as you. They're not offering as much as you are, and yet this is where the retention lies. Data says that the color red deters people from clicking. Apparently, 4 p.m. on Thursday is the absolute best time to post, so I have to post then every day. Obsessing too much in that context, I believe, squeezes the realness out of your work. People obsess over the data. I only do what's been successful in the past. I only look at the data. But you have to realize that someone had to take a risk in the beginning for there even to be the data to begin with. Don't let that deter you from being okay with trying something different. That's when you can find the most success. For me, I sat down one day and I decided to batch my content, and I made 40 reels in 2 days, and I just post them like wildfire because I also heard consistency was the key. So I'm posting and posting and posting, and it's really not doing anything. I'm sitting on day 35 thinking to myself, wow, this really got me nowhere. Although that was the wrong way to see it. It didn't get me anywhere in my indoctrinated goal of more followers and more views. As far as an artist goes, it was actually really good and beneficial for me to make all that music in 2 days. My fingers were calloused, my mixing was improving. It was a good thing. It just didn't give me the outcome that I was expecting. And then one day, I was sitting around and I decided I'm going to talk about my microphones. I looked behind me They're all sitting in a pile. The sunlight was coming in the window nice. I turned on the camera, and mind you, I've never been good at talking to the camera. It's very, very difficult. The only way I've been able to get good at it is by continuing to do it, forcing myself to do it. But in the beginning, I was very awkward. Not that I'm not still. So I turned on the camera, and I just freestyled, talking about these microphones that I had, my collection, and I made the reel. At the end of it, I said, I'll do another video and showcase how these all sound. Well, I never made part 2, and I ended up moving out of that space. And that reel sat on my phone for a couple months. Then one day, I said, you know what? No one watches my work anyways. Nobody cares. I'm just gonna post it anyways. I was this close to deleting it. I post it and I go have dinner with a friend. I don't think much of it. It doesn't even perform well, just like everything else. But then in the next 2 days, it randomly blew up. Suddenly, it had 600,000 views, all these comments, and all these people asking for part 2 of the video, which, like I said, I did not have. Not only did I not have it, but I didn't have my microphones. I had moved out of my studio and everything was in storage. So I just continued posting whatever videos I had left. But slowly over time, I would get DMs, where's that video? When are you gonna post that video? It was, I'm not gonna lie, slightly overwhelming, but it inspired me to get it done. One thing I realized after my post blew up was that was not the new norm. I had never had a post blow up. So I thought, hey, I made it. Now every single post, 6 figures, easy. Well, that's not the case. Very quickly, I realized that my numbers went right back down to where they used to be. And that was because I was no longer doing that style of content. My content was me showing off my drums, not talking to the camera. So that brings me to another point. Post just what you like. It might take longer to grow, but if you stay consistent to what you do, eventually you will grow an audience that is loyal to that specific topic. So yes, after posting all those videos and getting nothing, and then finally posting the microphone video and getting some kind of engagement, I just kept doing what I did. And I got lucky a handful more of times. I believe it was really just 3 single posts that built my following. Each time one of these videos did quite well, I would gain some massive amount of followers in one go. And each and every time, it was the post that I had the least expectations for that ended up doing the best. The ones that I really felt good about and expected to go did not go. It is funny, the day that I posted the microphone video, I did feel discouraged. I can recall posting it and thinking to myself, I'm done with this. I'm done trying. I'm getting frustrated. It just didn't seem worth it to me. I couldn't connect and I couldn't find my audience. Luckily, by continuing to try and not being afraid to experiment, I was able to find some connection. What do you do as an artist? Well, I watch so many people just overthink it. And what overthinking does is prevents you from actually making a move and you find yourself stuck. I once worked with an artist. I helped them shoot 10 music videos in a week and release none of them. People get too stuck in their head and they make their work too precious. Just release the stuff. Who cares what happens after that? Just get it out and clear that space in your mind to create more work. Not everybody starts off really polished and perfect right away. You can build up to get there. Do things your way, do things authentically, but always remember to connect. Make someone feel something. So don't listen to too many of the loud voices, me included, trying to tell people what to do. I am not trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to inspire you to realize that you know what to do. You need to stop overthinking it. You need to stop being precious about it. You need to just put it out. Just push it out. Catch the momentum and don't look back. People who tell you that you need to post at least 5 times a week, people who tell you these are the color schemes, people who tell you this is the angle, all that's going too far. That's for you to decide. That's for your own journey to explore, and it's gonna be a fun one, trust me. You just shouldn't get discouraged when it doesn't go as fast as you want it to. Music is one of the most difficult things to promote on social media because I think music requires a real unique user experience. For me, that's someone recommending an album to me, letting me borrow it, coming home, putting it on the turntable, having a drink or a smoke, and really diving into the experience of the record. Or it's listening to an album for the first time in its entirety on headphones, riding my bike at night. So don't let social media feel like your music is not good or your art is not good just because it gets low engagement. Engagement is not an indicator of the quality of your work. It's an indicator of whether Instagram feels like they can make money or not off the back of your art. I would rather have 100 people that really rock with me and support everything I do than 100,000 passive followers. that don't even know who I am. And if you spend a lot of time and energy and effort on a post that doesn't do well, as long as you really enjoyed the process, that's not an L, that's an experience. Now, if you are doing something that you don't really like and it was a real pain in the ass, of course you're going to feel pissed off when it doesn't do well because you didn't enjoy doing it. It wasn't authentic. So how would you expect that to do well anyways? The audience can tell when you're real or when you're putting on. Capture your most authentic self, showcase what makes you special, focus on only doing what you enjoy, and the audience will come. So I'm working one day and I'm outside having lunch in the backyard, and my coworker says to me, "Do you want to know what we do in the back?" And I said, "Yes, of course I do. Please tell me." "Nah, actually, well, I signed an NDA. I can't tell you." I said, "Do you really think I'm a snitch?" "Nah, you're right." He goes, "I'm back there. I have 100 phones and I just press play on all of his songs all day." And I was kind of speechless, although I had a feeling. So lunch is over and I walk in the door. My boss looks at me and he goes, "You're going to want to grab the camera for this one." I get the camera and he opens a Spotify plaque for 1 million streams and he starts crying. The whole team is just shook. "Oh my God. You made it, bro." Man, social media is not real life and it should never be treated as such. Ask yourself what success on social media will bring to your life and if it's worth it or not. Because otherwise, there's a real life out there and it's beautiful.